After taking over the world as a group, the girls of BLACKPINK went solo. The question is, who is the Beyoncé? It's time for the 2025 BLACKPINK Solo Pop-Off.
We have reached over 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you all so much for joining the CCTV crew. And if you're on a podcast platform, we're now top 10% of all video podcasts on Spotify. And we're being added to lists like FeedSpot. So make sure to give us that rating and follow because it really helps us get into the algorithm and grow.
That's right. And a special shout out to our Patreon producers, Emily, George, Lily, Julianne, Jonathan, Jasmine, Janelle, Darius, Ren, and Hillary. That's right. We have a full list of names, and you can be a part of it if you join our Patreon at patreon.com/cctvpops, where you get to help us choose episode topics, and you get to add a little bit of your tidbits into our future episodes. So we can obviously add your comment here. We also have a free tier, so no pressure. Just join us over there at patreon.com.
Yeah. So this is our pop-off series where the songs battle it out in our song, video, and performance rounds. And today, as Chantel mentioned, we are focusing on the solo releases of the BLACKPINK members. They have now all split up. They're not doing their, they're not doing their solo stuff under YG, which is awesome. So now we really get to see them as artists. So we will discuss and see who wins. And then remember, this is meant for pure fun. Please don't take it too seriously. You should join in. Let us know what wins in each category for you in the comments. And also remember that viewer discretion is advised. Your fave will be criticized.
Round 1.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, I know the blinks are gonna be see with the fingers. Like, listen, we both have been at their concerts. We both have talked about them for years now. So, like, please understand that you don't have to blindly follow your idols. If you don't like something, you can say it. It's a safe space here. It's a safe space. So let's get into it with player 1, ROSÉ, with Toxic Till the End.
We were toxic till the end.
And this was done by Emily Warren, ROSÉ, Evan Blair, and Michael Pollock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so round 1 is all about the song itself. So the production, the hooks, the vocals. Okay, so ROSÉ. My first thought when the song first came out was, of course, this sounds like Taylor Swift, right?
Oh, yeah.
And we knew ROSÉ was a Swiftie as well, so that's not really a surprise or a stretch, really. And I don't say this comparison in a bad I don't think that comparison is bad, actually.
Not at all.
Like, Taylor is a great songwriter, and she has a very distinctive sound. It makes sense that so many people are inspired by that and influenced by that. And this song is good enough to stand on its own. It does not just sound like a Taylor Swift reject or B-side. Like, it does have a nice song structure. It has some nice melodic choices. They're just kind of the same melodic choices that Taylor would also likely make, I guess.
Oh, this is true. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But I like the song. I think the production is cool. I like how electronic it is. Because I feel like she could have very easily gone the kind of acoustic, unplugged kind of way.
Yes.
And I'm glad she did not. And yeah, the chorus is anthemic. And yeah, like I said, there are some nice melodies here. I would say ROSÉ's voice is not my favorite.
Why not?
Like it's quite nasally. And it feels very constricted a lot of the time when she's belting. But I will say in this song and across her solo project, it is a bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
Like, especially in those verses where it's just less belty. I think when she really starts to project, that's when it feels very tight, and I don't love that.
That's valid.
But yeah, what do you think of Toxic Till the End?
I'd say that her voice fits the genre of the music, the whole diary lyricism thing, singer-songwriter. I mean, I think even if you kind of just cite the Netflix documentary, where she was kind of singing a cappella, albeit a little, raw sounding, she does have a tendency to lean more toward that. Even with her solo stuff with YG, like On the Ground, was not my favorite sonically, but it fits the whole concept of, you know, I got my guitar and my guitar case. I'm going to busk on the street. So this song kind of has that kind of feel where if she did decide to strip it down and have it be an acoustic song, it would make sense. It would stand alone on its own, stand on its own as a decent song. I do feel like it would have been good for Taylor. I have it in my notes as well, but maybe another up and coming pop vocalist. I think there's a sense of generic pop looking for a radio hit when it comes to this song. What makes it a little bit more personal is, I guess, little tidbits like her introducing the ex as someone who likes to play chess, or her talking about how they met. So, in terms of it being personal for her, yes. But in terms of vocally, sonically sounding like a Rosé song, I don't know what Rosé's sound is, which is not terrible. Her writing style on here wasn't really super distinctive, I would say. And even listening to the album, I didn't get a sense of like, okay, she follows this structure. I can expect this here and there. But yeah, the bridge was fun. I wanted a little something more that was, I don't know, not explosive, but just went a little bit bigger because it went somewhere, but then it stopped abruptly. And then she went down to that little, like, not breathy singing, but a lower bit of singing, which I think is interesting to hear because you are expecting something amazing to happen, then it just falls away, which could kind of lean itself to the whole toxicity of the relationship where maybe it was supposed to be great, but then everything just fell apart. I might be giving it a little bit too much credit, but if not, awesome work on the dynamism to match the concept of the song. And again, I just think, you know, the song is effective. It's okay. Like, even I have songs that are a little bit nondescript that I've written, and I'm just like, anyone could sing the Shan. Anyone could sing the Chantel. But this is how the song felt. It's not a bad song,
Mhm.
but it doesn't make me go, oh, this is that artist? Cool.
Mm,
You know?
that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, even though I don't love her tone personally,
hmm
it is distinctive.
Yes.
So I think that helps, right?
Yeah.
Because when
Totally.
even though the song itself maybe isn't the most, uh, I don't know, like special, quote unquote. That's
Yes.
so only Rosé can sing it, but her voice is kind of unique, so at least you kind of know it's her.
This is true. This is
Yeah.
very true.
All right, moving on to player 2. We have Jisoo with Earthquake, and this was done by Jack Brady, Jisoo, Jordan Roman, Sarah Troy, and Sarah Bow.
It hits me like an earthquake.
Okay, I don't recognize any of these names from the songwriters and producers, which isn't a
Yeah.
bad thing. So that means finally we are getting introduced to some more people in the songwriting room that isn't just a typical YG. You guys don't talk about the usual suspects, like, oh god, like with Flower. You can hear it's a Flower. Like, the song sounds like a Sun Mi song, and I don't think that song did her any justice. Like, let's be real, her Flower did
Oh,
not give
yeah.
Jisoo her flowers in the right way. You know, the
I hated flowers.
pun intended, like, Blinks, let's be real here. She deserves better.
Mhm.
Okay. And I think that Earthquake is better. By how much? We'll find out. So the delicate introduction of the song where that, she's singing the chorus as if it's the first part of the verse. I think that's interesting. It's a fun kind of a callback for people who are like really paying attention, like, oh, that was the chorus. Oh my gosh. So I like how it's just her voice in a tight scent. And then when it builds, there's tension right before it starts to pulse and throb. And I'm being very specific on why I'm using these words. Like, I love the vroom vroom ad lib during the verse because
Oh,
you're picking up speed. It's, the throbbing and the pulsing. And she's like, go hard, kiss, grab, make it last. Like, it's meant to be kind of hot and smexy. I don't
yeah.
care what anyone says. Like, oh my God, don't say that. Hello, that's where the song was going. I would love to have heard the original demo because this girl wasn't talking about like, oh my gosh, I'm falling for you, such a good person. It's like, you are really freaking hot. Rock my world.
Mhm.
And that's what the song's about at the end of the day. Of course, because it's a K-pop song, it's like, this song is about me following my dreams and and striving to reach the top as an artist. Uh, I would say that the pre-hook makes her voice sound like she opened up a little bit more. Like, she wasn't belting, but it does sound bigger than the previous sections of the song. I think the song builds nicely, but I would say the post-chorus feels a little kind of like C plus, maybe B minus for me. It
Yeah.
follows the chorus of Flower in a sense where it's like, here's a little bit of singing and then some weird little onomatopoeias and something that makes you, that sticks in your ear. An earworm does not make a song good. Let's be very clear about that. An earworm does not make the song good. It makes it earwormy. Like, what does
Mhm.
the fox say? I'm pretty sure everyone can sing that chorus. It does not make it a good song. Not saying that this is what the Fox says before people go crazy. I'm just giving you an example of something like that. But
Yeah.
again, I'm happy that it did not sound exactly like a Sunmi song. Could Sunmi have sung this? Sure, sure. But like, it didn't sound like Flower, and it didn't sound
Mhm.
like people were just like, "Girl, no one really cares about you." This sounds like they tried. I think the darkness of the bass line is my favorite part of this.
Yeah.
Right? Because it makes it sound a lot more cool and mysterious, where Flower just felt like, I don't know. I
I
think
had nothing good to say about Flower,
you did
so this
not.
is definitely an improvement.
I remember because all those wonky synth horns, it was so
Mhm.
bad. But this one makes her seem cool. This one
Yeah.
makes her seem mysterious. The bridge is okay. I was expecting more like background vocals.
Mhm.
Something to build, because like there's background vocals in one of the pre-chorus that goes or
Yeah.
they go and it kind of sustains. There was nothing here. I think the song is good for her. I remember going to the BLACKPINK concert a few years ago, and she sang "Clarity" by Zed, and she sounded decent. Here, she sounds like she's singing in a comfortable range,
Mm.
and it's not like she's sitting there doing something like outrageous, but at least it's respectable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's so much better than Flower.
Yeah, definitely better than Flower. I agree with you. The production is really good. Like, I
Yeah.
like how hypnotic and magnetic it kind of
Oh,
is. It's all very dreamy, but then there's an energy to it. There's a drive in it.
mhm.
And just listening to the instrumental, like without any of the singing, like this is something like Kylie would sing to.
Oh my God, yes. I'm singing
You know?
Padam.
Yeah, I saw a lot of Padam references as well, actually. So
Mhm.
I get that. I
Mhm.
will say with this, the chorus is actually my least favorite part of the song. You
Yep.
know?
Yep.
It's like the melody just doesn't
It
really
dies.
go anywhere, and then the uh-huh, you know, like that is
Yeah.
like that hook, and then the post-chorus
Da, da,
it's
da,
just
da.
I don't know, there's just not that impactful. Like, I feel like the verses,
Yeah.
like, at least the first verse and second verse are completely different. You're right, there
Yeah.
is kind of a build there in the
Mhm.
pre-chorus. Um, yeah,
Mhm.
so the chorus kinda lets it down for me a little bit.
Mhm.
I will say
Mm.
I also don't love Jisoo's tone either,
Oh,
personally.
okay.
It's almost like her voice is much thicker. There's like kind of a rasp to it
Yeah,
a little bit.
huskiness. Yeah.
But she also, and maybe this is just a YG training thing, but she
Mm.
also gets very tight when she
Tight.
belts.
Yeah.
I think
It's
I'm
not
gonna.
gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I don't know. It just feels so strained. I don't. It's not a nice.
I
I
know
don't
what you
know.
mean. Yeah, it feels like it's kind of pushing a little bit, and the note is not high for her.
Right, but she's like
Yeah.
purposely constricting to like get this kind of like I don't know, I don't know. It's
Ooh,
odd. I guess it's just
yeah.
a stylistic choice or a training thing that YG likes.
Oh, yeah.
But then there are some nicer vocal moments too. Like there are some nice harmonies in
Mhm.
here. I mean, they're not a ton, but there are some.
Yeah, yeah.
And overall, it does work for her tone.
Mhm.
Like yeah, but. Yeah, I feel like this is one. You mentioned Sunmi. Like, I might like this song more if someone else sang it, to be honest.
Ooh, okay,
Because
moving
I get
right
that
along.
the point is kind of this kind of hypnotic, kind of just like robotic kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like you said, the lyrics are kind of smexy. And so if someone did it a little more
Mhm.
like that,
Oh,
maybe it would
yeah.
it would
Yeah.
work more for me.
Hmm,
Yeah. But again,
interesting.
huge improvement on Flower. So
We'll
there's
take
that.
it. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, yes, we'll take it. All right, moving right along to player 3, Lisa with F Up the World featuring Future. And this was done by ATL Jacob, Hendrik Smoke, Fanatic, Zach, and Naya of FNZ, Lisa, Future, and Jae Young Lee.
Woke up feeling like
I don't know, man. What do you think about this? Like, I feel like we liked Rockstar enough, and now we've had a
I liked
whole
Rockstar.
year to
Mhm.
digest all of it. So we've had
Mhm.
I feel like we had a longer time to kind of get to know Lisa as a solo artist and the rest of them. So how do you feel now that everything
Yeah.
is kind of over in terms of promotion?
Mm. Well, first off, let me just preface with people, if in case people are asking why we chose this one instead of Rockstar or one of the other singles, because she did release quite a few singles leading up to it. So
Yes.
pretty much for her and Jennie and Rosé, these are the singles that were released like right the day of the album or right
Yes.
before it. So I was like, okay, those count as kind of the big push. So that's
Yes.
kind of how we try to make this consistent. But anyway, um, I like this one
Mhm.
more as a performance track and kind of a
Yeah.
visual track than I do listening to it. But
Right.
I do think it makes an impact and it does grab your attention. Like I think the backing track is quite cool. That really heavy bass, the kind of siren-y kind of synths going
Mm-hmm.
on, and it does feel very powerful. And I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna say some stuff that's similar for Jenny as well.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
they're kind of these like statement songs that are kind
Yes.
of like I'm here and this is me kind of
Mm.
thing.
Yeah.
I will say I'm not really a fan of Future's style in general, and his verse is only okay. So I much
Mm-hmm.
prefer the solo version of this
Yes, me
one.
too.
Sorry, Mr. Future.
Mr.
Uh,
Future is crazy.
but yeah, I think the main chorus is effective. And the bridge is probably my favorite part where she references the old Lisa. Like
Yeah.
it feels genuine
Yes.
and I like the kind of more relaxed. I like her when she's more relaxed.
Ooh.
Cuz yeah, I think with the verses, some of the flow feels a bit labored.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, and we'll talk about that in the performance round. I feel the
Yeah,
same
because I
way.
don't know if it's just the way it's written. Like, I don't know if it's like the cadence of it, where it's how
Yeah.
some words kind of flow into each other, or if it's
Yeah.
just her execution of it, where it feels. I don't know, because for a rap, the best thing is when it feels supernatural. You can kind of just keep going,
Yeah.
and you don't need to think that hard, but you could kind of feel the like. I don't know. It's like she
It's a
was thinking
mouthful.
really hard. Yeah, it's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. The cadence is very like it's fast.
yeah. But overall, I think the song is cool. I think it
Yeah.
makes an impact, and I like the chorus. And I
Mm-hmm.
like the chant, the F up the world, F up the world. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And this is awesome. I mean, we'll get to the live stuff, but I can see, see this being a big moment in her show.
Oh yeah, totally,
Yeah.
totally. This is definitely an intense song. I'm not gonna lie. I thought Doja Cat's "Demons"
Mm,
or even something that Megan would have rapped on in the past year. I think Megan probably would have gone for more of like a rock vibe or like get actual guitars on it. She would have had a
yeah.
whole because she had some song and it sounded like it was a rock guitar, but then she ended up releasing a metal version of that song. So I think those two rappers, in terms of like comparison, have to be drawn in, especially if you are going to try to promote to the American public. Like if I was an American person and this song came on the radio, I'd be like, is this Doja or is this Meg? Wait, what's happening?
Mm,
And that's okay. We get like the
yeah.
K-pop and Lisa's Thai and blah, blah, blah. Beyond that, you guys are trying to compete with American artists, except Jisoo. Jisoo was the only one that was like, let me keep my behind in South Korea,
Yes.
keep it cute, keep it Korea, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But they decided to come out here to the mainstream in terms of Billboard. I think this song definitely embodies Lisa's persona. I like the chorus. It's simple, straight to the point. The writing on this one I said was fun, but I can totally hear what you're saying about like the mouthfulness of it. It
Yeah.
is a lot to say and do. Um, I think she may have punched in a couple times. I don't think these are like one clean takes. A lot of this is that's the thing. If you don't know what punching in means, it means like say if you're singing one section like A, B, C, D, and you're flat on the D's, you come back in D, E, F, G, you stop
Mhm.
again to add more like add, you know what I'm saying? So that's what punching in is coming in and just, you know, starting from that last point,
Yeah.
the last stopping point. So yeah, I think some of it was definitely punched in. I also think because she didn't write some of this, that's where the unnaturalness may have come from. Cause like if I have a rap in one of my songs and I told the producer, I was like, oh, this is kind of hard. He's like, why? You don't know it? I said, no, I know it. It's just a mouthful because it's
Hmm.
fast. So maybe she did write it, but something tells me just certain kind of references and like analogies felt like, In the solo version, it is more relaxed. You know, her being healthy with all her carrots. It was more just like her voice
Oh
was a lot
yeah.
more smoother, not so aggressive. I think when she's pushing that hardcore rapping, it can be a little bit like, "Ooh, catch your breath, girl." So kudos to her for actually performing it and on the track, performing it on the recording in a way that is respectable and we can appreciate it for what it is. I think it's so funny that they got Future. He's like 25% Korean, so let's go. Let's go with that, I guess. I'm joking. He is actually 25% Korean.
I
Did you
didn't
know
know
that?
that.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But he's not the right fit for this at all. This was definitely one of those, who can we afford? Who is also on the label? It gave me that kind of feel. He might not be on the same label, but it just felt like he
Mhm.
makes sense, I guess, but not really. Like I think he would have gone off with a smaller female rapper, or at least or like a more Gen Z known male rapper, something to give it a little bit
Mm.
more bite because he kind of slurred it up a little bit.
I
And
mean,
I was
that's his
just
style, though.
exactly, but she's
Yeah.
talking about effing up the world, chaos, havoc, being like,
Yeah.
and he's
True.
not bringing it. He's more just like, yeah, girl, you gonna do what you gonna do, girl, and I'm gonna give it to you. It
Yeah,
was just
that's
like
right.
he didn't fit. So no offense to those who did have him on it. It was like, oh, this is a good idea. It wasn't. So sorry. Um, like I said, the Vixie solo is definitely my favorite one though. She holds it. She holds it really well on her own. But she could have got a small rapper like a Mona Leo or like even Rico Nasty would have been. Oh my gosh, she would have been perfect for this. There's a bunch of female rappers that would have given her that whole street cred that Future's apparently
Yeah.
he's a street cred hire. He's a cred hire for sure.
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
could have found a bunch of other people and paid less money, and it would have been beneficial for both Lisa and the artist. But, you know, again, I'm in my mom's basement. It's fine. It's whatever. But I think Future wasn't the right one for this. Lisa could have held it on her own, and she did.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're at our final player, and that's Jennie with Like Jennie. And this was done by Diplo, LeClaire, Jackstone, Jennie, Zico, Taylor Parks, and Kiddo AI.
Wanna rock with Jennie? Keep your head
The song is gonna be so effing hard with Taylor Parks. It makes it sound like the song is gonna be really good. Like she already knew. So for the fact that she kind of says that at the beginning is so fun.
Yeah.
I do wonder why they didn't get Jennie to do it. And I think people not the no tea, no shade, but usually when that happens, you can't get the artist or the artist that doesn't do it. That means that the songwriter probably just sounds better there. Like Normani's
Totally.
what was it? I'm ready to pull up on you. Oh, Normani's Wild Side. There's a part at the end where I think Stara, the songwriter, is doing that. Pull up on that ooh, 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 make him go, what? Say it again. That's Stara. That wasn't Normani. So for here, I think Taylor probably was the best choice to make it sound like it was actually gonna be like some
Yeah.
real craziness going on.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. I like the live special edition in your AI couldn't copy. I don't know what about it, but it does something for me. But if I were to just kind of get really deep into it, Jennie had a whole like deep. A lot of the women in K-pop were having their faces superimposed due to deep fakes. So I think in terms of relevance, it hits different, and also in terms of just cultural relevance, it makes sense. Rise of AI being used, and you can't duplicate Jennie's whole it girl persona. You can't duplicate her impact on K-pop as a whole. You know what I'm saying? It's like all the
Mm.
girls of K-pop from the girl crush concept, they have all kind of been compared to BLACKPINK and things like that. So it just makes sense because she is the it girl of that group. So it's just culturally relevant and also personally relevant, possibly. I don't think it's Afro beats that I'm hearing really in the song. A lot of people have said that, even though there are Afro beat inspired dance moves. I think this
Mm.
is more Brazilian funk. If I'm not mistaken, this is more of like a Brazilian funk kind of inspo.
Mhm.
And the second verse I think is really awesome that it's all in Korean. Zico is a great songwriter. So to have him
Yeah.
do it that was really cool. And especially up the energy in a way that kind of feels like it's amping up because the song is not like different dynamically or like in terms of production. So just to have the rap actually kind of amp up the energy, that was great. And it keeps the Korean spirit alive in a song that is deriving from so many different cultures, you know? So yeah, I think overall this song is fun. The Who and Rock with Jennie, it sounds like some army chant, like hoorah kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it kind of feels militant. It feels really intense.
Yes.
It definitely goes against F Up the World in this aggressive way.
Yeah.
Where it's like they can go head to head and kind of just
Totally.
battle it out with the chants.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what do you think about it? Because I feel like this was I don't know if I say I wouldn't expect it, but Mantra was kind of like eh. But when I heard something like this, I was like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah. No,
potential.
this definitely made an impact for
Yeah.
sure. And yeah, it is hard not to compare this and F Up the World kind of head to head because they are kind of trying to do the same thing.
Yes.
But yeah, I think this one's cool. The production's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I will say if we are just comparing those two, the production on this one wins.
Yeah.
Like it really takes you on a ride. It has such a cool energy to it. Like
Mhm.
I love the way it all pulls back. I love the like the kind of like almost kind of tribal kind of like chanting that is
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think like I said with Lisa, I like it as this kind of just I'm here track. Like
Yeah.
this is me and really me, like not me
Totally.
under like this Korean label
Oh
telling
my
me what to
gosh,
do. Like this is
yeah.
actually me. So I
Right.
think it really works for that as a
Yeah.
statement. And again, for performances and stuff. As a song, I mean, it's so short.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's essentially an intro track anyway. Like it's barely a full song.
Yeah.
Even though, to be fair, it does feel fully formed, right? Like the chorus feels well thought out.
Mhm.
And the verses as well. I will say rapping wise as well, the flow here does feel a lot better, and maybe part of it is because it's in Korean, so maybe that's a little easier for her as well.
Mm.
Plus, I
Yeah.
think Korean just has it's a very melodic language. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
naturally, like the words all flow into each other really well, and so
Yes.
I think that also just sounds really good as opposed
Mm-hmm.
to English, which is like not the prettiest language.
No,
Um,
that's
so I think
hilarious.
vocally, she really impressed me, right? Because
Yeah.
yeah, I think she was able to really emote in
Mm-hmm.
this and
Yeah.
really I don't know that you could just hear the
Oh
energy in it,
yeah, totally.
which is
I know what you
great.
mean.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it feels natural. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
feel like it's too labored. So I think
Yeah.
that's cool. So yeah, another one where I wouldn't really listen to it. So
Mm.
but I enjoy watching it, which we'll get to.
That's
So
valid. That's valid.
yeah.
And for people who don't know, when he says I wouldn't listen to it, it's not like it's a terrible song. We won't skip it if it pops up, but like
That's
just
right.
let me look it up right now so I can listen to it on repeat.
Yeah.
And this is not. Yeah, that's what he means.
Yeah.
But if you want to listen to it every day, please be sure to
Yeah.
do that. And if you are listening to us, might as well subscribe. Listen to us every day as well. Throw us in the
Yeah.
mix. Yes.
Okay. So that's the end of round one.
Oh my
A
God.
song.
Jesus. Wait.
So what wins for you?
Okay, so for me, this was not an easy choice for me because like they're all like different songs and they have different qualities and charms that I like. But even with the critique of the mouthful of words, I reread some lyrics. The lots of part is tough. So
Mm.
I'm gonna give it to Lisa with F Up the World without Future.
Yes.
What?
Yes, the Vixie solo version.
Yeah.
I will actually give it to Jenny, I
Okay.
think.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
valid.
I think just in terms of I don't know, like I think all the production elements actually are really cool.
Mm,
So I think
hmm.
that's what makes it more of a fun listen for me.
That's valid. That's valid. Very close
Yeah.
for me though. Very close.
It is close as well.
Uh,
Yeah, for sure. Okay, moving on to round two, which is all about the music video. So back to player one, Rosé with Toxic Till the End.
Round 2.
Yeah. Okay. One thing I'll say about this video is that I like the concept of it. And I like the little pink font and stuff. I like the
Mm.
cinematography of it all.
Hmm.
But I can't say that I'm a fan of some of the choices in terms of displaying the toxicity, especially toward the end of the video. So let me just start off by saying I get the whole concept where it's like the bad boy meets the posh girl, and it's like we're not supposed to be together, baby, but we figured out how to make it work, but not really. Oh yeah.
Hmm.
The music video features Evan Mock from Gossip Girl, I think the reboot. Um, and Rose did talk with Zane Lowe about writing the song and revisiting like tough emotions. So she's dealt with all this stuff like for a couple of years. So it's kind of interesting to see what she, I guess, kind of went through.
Yeah.
Kind of. I don't know how much of it was toxic or like maybe the person was cheating on her. I don't know. But I'm glad they didn't use that route. It was just he was kind of irresponsible, I guess. Like I don't know. I feel like the story wasn't fully fleshed out because they went from like, hey, um hey, I'm on the side of the street. My bike's
Hmm.
broken. Ladies, never pick up trash from the side of the road. Thank you. Ladies, gentlemen, I don't care who you are. Do never pick up trash from the side of the road. If it looks like trash, leave it there. Um, I think the reference to the chess playing was interesting because she kind of was using that as like one of the scenes. So I think that was a cute
Yeah,
little
like
callback to the lyrics.
manipulation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a callback to the lyrics as well.
Mhm.
She plays a little hard to get with the guy. He slips off the skateboard. A kiss for the first time. Like things like that happen, but nothing really tells us what happened to have caused such a rift because suddenly they're arguing. She's storming away from him. They're fighting in the hallway, and she pushes him into a bust and gives him a black eye.
Yeah.
I don't like that. No bueno, honestly. I'm
Yeah.
hoping that did not happen to her and she just reversed the roles because that would be very sad. And I hope that really didn't happen to her. But yeah, I think the concept of him being fun but really exhausted makes sense. But again, I needed something to kind of show me like, okay, he did something wrong and he keeps messing up. I don't know.
Well,
Him
I
just
mean, we
him
we
being clumsy.
learn near the end that the whole meeting was premeditated
Yes.
and that he did also manipulate the skateboard moment and
Yes,
fell
to make
on
it
purpose.
dramatic.
Yeah, and so I guess it's the whole idea of him being I guess just like behind the scenes trying to like
Manipulate the relationship.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, listen, I get that part, but I was just watching it first time out. I just don't know why he had to sit and catch a black eye for it. You know what I'm saying? Like that
Yeah,
part I
this
don't
man
need.
did keep getting physically injured, whether
That's what I
by
was like.
his doing or her doing, which was interesting. Yeah, there
Yeah.
was that one moment where I guess he like hides his phone from her, and then she gets
Yeah.
really mad at him.
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. But like aside from
Yeah.
that,
But yeah, I agree with you. It took me like 2 or 3 watches to like really try and understand what was happening. I will say in terms of just the cinematography, I thought it was pretty
gorgeous.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that. I think it matches the song because I think the song's lyrics are kind of vague overall too. So I think
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of okay that you just kind of know that they're in a toxic relationship and you don't fully know the ins and outs of it.
Valid. Valid. Okay.
It at least kept my attention because I was just trying to understand what was going on. So I'll take that. There have been
That's
much
valid.
worse music videos
Yeah. Yeah.
in pop. Yeah.
Gosh. Yes. Oh, internationally speaking as
Oh
well.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All over the world.
Yeah.
That's valid. Okay. I'll take that. That's valid.
Okay, moving on to player 2, Jisoo, Earthquake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Earthquake. Interestingly enough, this video is actually, I think Earthquake and Ep of the World have the same directors.
Oh,
So we're going to be able to kind of look and see the difference in
cool.
terms of this person's style. But they definitely use a lot of set pieces combined with special effects, which I appreciate. And they
Yeah.
do a great job of lighting
Oh yeah.
these scenes so that the special effects, when they actually do come around, it's not like, girl, get off that green screen. You know what I'm saying? Or that blue screen, whatever's being used in the industry right now. But yeah, I like the whole setup of the story. So office worker gets a text from a lover. She's caught and then she's interrogated. Is it the man that has a history of breaking hearts? Or maybe it's her that's the heartbreaker that they've been looking for. I mean, I think either she's supernatural or like if they get together, crazy things happen. Like, have you ever seen Hitchcock?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of Hitchcock vibe where like the two superheroes are soulmates and they love each other throughout years, but every time they get together, the world ends.
Yes.
So maybe that was kind of like the premise here. I do not know what the director was thinking, but it felt like that because every single time she contacted this man, some BS would happen. The phone gets zapped from her hand, a car goes through a wall.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just very, very, very dramatic in terms of force majeure, doing what it has to do. Mother Nature fighting Father Time, who knows? But yeah, I like the concept of her being connected to the polygraph. Like, wasn't that like a sick little scene
Oh
where they
yeah.
use that to kind of, is it a Richter scale that measures the earthquakes?
I don't know.
Right? Okay,
Yeah.
let me not say something that makes you sound crazy.
Yeah,
But
I'm
I
not
think,
gonna pretend I know anything about this.
okay, right. But the polygraph's chart kind of going up and down. It
Yes.
measures both her heartbeat and an earthquake. I love that. Her dancing
Yes.
on it's great. There's a little bit of words that says, "What if I get hurt?" when she's driving a car. She crashes through. It's a hot mess, but she is completely unfazed by all of the disaster surrounding her.
Yeah.
And I think the heart bomb part is wild because I'm like, girl, not the heart bomb. She looks amazing in the video in terms of like how they styled her. I loved it. It was so
Yeah.
cute. It was office worker, and it's like how mundane and boring can office clothing be? Yeah, but then you can do siren, you can do the mouse office worker, you can do the femme fatale boss. You can just so many things you can work with the whole corporate concept. I think
Yeah.
they do a good job of it. Like I love the office scene with the flying papers with her sleeveless
Oh yeah.
shirt, and then the final chorus look with the bluish kind of thing, them
Yeah.
dancing on the screen. So those are some looks I liked where I was like, ooh, I'll keep watching. So yeah, this video
No,
was
yeah.
definitely rewatchable.
Definitely. She looked amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, yeah. I think look, at the end of the day, she is an actress.
Mhm.
So give us like set the seed. Give us like some interesting
Set the scene.
concepts. Like I'm here for it. And yeah,
Yes.
this video feels very expensive.
Oof. Yes, it
Uh,
does.
and yeah, the visual effects are all really cool. Like, of course, that car coming through the wall
Mhm.
in slow mo is such a cool moment. I will say, I don't love the questions that she crashes through in the car.
Oh,
Those felt a
what if
little
it hurts?
PowerPoint ish and kind of
Oof.
over like cheesy for no reason kind of
Oof.
thing. Um, but everything else, very,
Mhm.
very slick.
Yeah.
And yeah, I loved how kind of cheeky it was too. Like the visual of her dancing on that
Yeah. The phone.
the detector thing, and yeah, on the
Oh,
phone.
the polygraph.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the polygraph thing and the phone at the end as well. Like that's just fun.
Yes.
And yeah, it definitely kept me entertained and I wanted to watch it a few times. We'll
Mhm.
get to the dancing more later, but the dance scenes are definitely my least favorite part of this video. Like she's
Yeah.
almost more captivating when she's just like sitting at the desk.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yikes. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. Moving along to player 3, we have Lisa.
Yeah.
Okay, this video comic book,
Mhm.
DC comic.
Yes.
I
Very
think
Joker, very Harley Quinn.
yeah. It's impressive when Insane Girls in Asylum is considered like Harley Quinn-esque. She's ubiquitous at this point. Good for her.
Mhm.
Taking place in an asylum on not much unlike Arkham. The set design and effects go off in the video, so it's not completely different in terms of like the color grading with Earthquake, because Earthquake was very not dull colored, but like the
Yeah, very kind of just black and
black and
gray.
white. Yeah, black and
Yeah, yeah,
gray.
yeah.
Yeah, right? But it was very pretty and very sleek to look at. With this one, it's gritty but still kind of polished, which I appreciate because there's a lot going on in this video. This
Yeah.
the practical sets, pieces blended in with the CGI and some of the special effects and the animation. I think the hallucination scene with the multiple alter egos was fun, but then scenes like that make me wish that this song would have come out a little bit earlier to create more conversation about the alter egos. Because by the time alter ego came out, we were like, "Girl, what you talking about with all these people in your head and stuff? What are you talking about?" So had this come out, it probably would have been able to strike up a conversation. I think the dance scenes are the best parts of the video.
Mm.
Um, the black light, the dancing, the factory, those parts look so good. I think the black light is just so striking.
Yes.
Because it looks like that art gallery was just flipped and turned into like a hangout for the villains. She plays villain really well. She knows how to work the camera. That's at the end of the day, I don't think that's ever been in question with Lisa.
Yes.
It's not like something we need to
That's right.
discuss. Really, like, oh my gosh, she doesn't look good in the video. She always looks good in the video.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I think Moonlight might be the only one I was like, or Moonlit Dance, whatever it's called. The Moonlit song about her boyfriend is the only one where I was like, you're cute, but this is not holding my attention. But like this, she can pull off. She can pull off
Mhm.
charisma, and
And
pull off
character.
and character. Thank you. Yes, she can.
Yeah, no, yeah, Lisa rarely disappoints with her visuals, like, let's be
Mhm.
real. And
Mhm.
this is so good. The sets are all so much fun, and yeah, this one looks super expensive too, and maybe that's also to do with just the way the director did it, knowing it's the same person.
Right. Right.
Um, yeah, I think she does do better when she is playing this kinda harder character.
Yeah.
Um And she has a lot of charisma, so she
Mhm.
can kind of pull it all off, and she does keep your attention for sure. And yeah, all the visual effects are awesome. I especially just love all the transitions, like between each
Yes.
moment, like the way things will
Yeah.
zoom into one thing and then it zooms back out and you're somewhere else. I think that's cool.
Mhm.
I'm glad the whole thing did not take place in the jail because I think when it
Oh my
first
God.
started, I
Yeah.
was like, is it only going to be in the jail or asylum? But no, we
Yeah.
get to end up going. We go to like this whole, you know,
Mhm.
underground thing with the poison, the Ninja
Yes.
Turtle poison thing.
Yeah. Oh
We
my
get the
God, this is turtle.
auction.
Mhm.
We get the car moment.
Mhm.
So like a lot of these scenes were super memorable and really stood on their own, and each one felt well thought out, and that there was a
Right.
lot of detail put into everything.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, I loved watching this one over and over again because sometimes I would watch the dancers, or sometimes I would just watch the extras in the background, like in the auction scene, for example. And
Yeah.
there's just a lot to pay attention to,
Word, word.
and it made me like the song more.
Hmm.
Which again, that's always the goal of a music video.
True, if you're gonna spend all that money, you better make me like
Yeah.
it.
So I'm here for it. Like, yeah, she really does rarely disappoint with her visuals. So
True, and I think another person who has done a pretty good job of keeping our eyes on the video is Jennie. With
mm,
this video, I think from the beginning it was just kind of strange. Like she's floating in a ruby red astronaut suit. I think overall she's one of the members that has maintained her artistic aesthetic. Like
yes.
the ruby red
Hmm.
astronaut suit, the little J pill. It's, the red pill, bill kind of thing, but it just juxtaposed with that red suit looks gorgeous on screen.
Hmm.
Her being outside of this spacecraft that is inside of this huge hangar where we'll just exaggerate. Hundreds of dancers are tens
Yeah.
of dancers. We'll say tens of dancers.
Yep.
But there's a bunch of dancers there, and it just looks so cool because the choreography in the video, God, kudos, shout out to We Dem Boys for choreographing this because it's a lot to sit there and choreograph main choreography and then make choreography just for the video.
Yes.
Like it's a lot of extra work and they all perform really well. I love what she's wearing, this very neutral color tone outfit with the little Hello Kitty bra and the hat. Like it's cute. It keeps up the aesthetic of her being kind of cool and hard, edgy, but then the Hello Kitty's like, oh, look at that, so cute. So again, I think she does a really good job of translating her strength in the video. So I appreciate it. The dancing, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think everyone has had a comment about quote unquote how lazy she is. She's not lazy. I think she had an injury that just never really got properly healed with her ankle. Yeah, her ankle. But for this, there's a lot of footwork and things like that. And she is not like a powerful dancer. I don't think she'll ever be that girl where she'll understand the dynamics of like internal popping and jacking her body in a way that looks like a professional dancer. But she kept up with them. And kudos, shout out to the dancers for not like overtaking her. I think this whole video is about dancing anyway, which is kind of tough to not go super in depth with until the performance round. But I think she holds her own and she looks confident. She looks like she's having a good time. And I think at the end when she burns up and turns into that little fat little capybara, it's so cute. So cute. Because I think in the ice cream video there was a capybara too. Like she likes them.
Yeah, that's like a thing for her, right? It's like one of her personality traits that she just loves capybaras.
So yeah.
And it is little personality stuff like that that makes things stand out for sure as well.
So weird. It's so cute.
Yeah, I will say the whole intro of her, floating in the astronaut gear and then taking the pill, I was then expecting a bit more of a story here. So then when it was just a dance video, don't get me wrong, I love the dancing in this video, but I don't know, it just set my expectations just for it to be something different. So then I was like, oh, I guess there's nothing else after that. But yeah, just the sheer number of dancers, it does look super impressive, right? Like it looks like a full-on army and it does match the power that's in the song.
Word up, yo.
And yeah, the choreography is so good, which we'll talk about more later. And yeah, I think she is good on camera. Like even from the beginning of BLACKPINK, like she has a really striking look and she knows how to like she'll look really good on camera, you know?
Yeah.
And she does pull the choreo off pretty well. Like I think it's interesting that you mentioned the whole laziness thing, like, because I always thought it was more with the live performances than it was with her on camera, that she can't like sustain a show.
Yeah, on the sort of contrary stuff, people say she was lazy, but like in video,
but I
she's
think
always
in terms
showed
of just
up.
the video, she's killing it.
Yeah, she always shows up for video. Yeah.
But I maybe she just can't, maybe her stamina just not good enough to do a full hour show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was entertained overall. The choreo's great. And there's not much else to it, honestly.
Yeah. I think the video is pretty simple. Space, maybe a little bit of a Matrix kind of reference.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
In and out.
Yeah. Okay, so music video round is done. What wins for you? This is hard. All 4 of these videos are honestly pretty good.
Yeah, they are.
And they match the song.
Yes.
Which is important.
Thank God. After watching all these videos, I really do like them. But I'm going to give it to JISOO because I actually didn't pay attention to the video until we watched it for this. And I was like, this is cute. It's clever. She looks good. It doesn't really require much. Like, it's like Jennie's video. It's like one color palette.
Yeah.
It is focused on the dancing, but JISOO has the dancing. She has the story. She has the aesthetic. There's consistency. It makes sense. And there's a little bit of cheekiness I really appreciate that made me say, oh, wow. I would say that Jennie and Lisa are like right there, kind of like neck and neck at number 2. But I think I'm going to give it to JISOO this round.
Okay, I will give it to Lisa. It's really hard. She's so captivating as a performer. And I loved all the different scenes and how different they were.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Lisa's right there. I'm telling you. It's tough.
Yeah. Okay, final round. We're at the performance/choreography.
Round 3.
Back to ROSÉ.
Yeah, ROSÉ.
Okay, so I will say the live band sounds really good. Like the extra drama of the live drums and guitars and stuff really works for this. And vocally, she sounds good. Like she's not relying too much on the backing track. She has good pitch. Again, she does get quite kind of nasally and tight in the throat sometimes, but I think the song, she is able to relax a little bit more. So, and she's at least stable singing this one. Definitely the lower notes, like kind of that final, kind of like last lower octave chorus before the final bells. Like she can't really hit that very well live. And I get it. It's kind of hard to project lower notes sometimes, so it's fine. But yeah, honestly, she pulled it off.
Huh. Okay.
You disagree?
No, not that. I think in terms of like her like not hitting some of the notes, I didn't hear that too much, especially with the Tonight Show. I think in the French performance, I forgot what. Oh my goodness, I forgot the name of the performance, but
Yeah,
somewhere in
yeah, yeah.
France.
The one in the stadium.
Yeah, that was not my favorite. The auto tune was just a little bit too much for me. So it made her sound a little bit wonky, or at least like tinny. Not
Yeah.
terrible, but I was like, oh no, this doesn't feel good. I think for the Jimmy Fallon show, though, she did a pretty good job
Yeah.
because she sang APT, which is a little bit higher energy. She came from the back, and then she got on the stage and then sang her song. She sounded stable and was able to display her vocals properly. There's no choreography to stop her from actually projecting and performing. So I can understand if someone's like listening and they're like, "Girl, you ain't hit them notes." It's understandable. You're not doing anything except singing. If that is the only thing that you're doing, you got to do it well, or at least correctly. The auto tune on it was minimal. You can hear it, but it wasn't so much like she was fighting against it, like the French performance. It was so weird listening to that one.
That
And I
was
think
hard also because it was outside,
I
right?
would say I think is because of
Yeah.
the atmosphere, the environment she was performing. It
Yeah.
wasn't really fair to her. But yeah, I feel like her placement was pretty good. Like she belts and then she sings low, and then she does the spoken part and then she sings again. This actually made me like the song a little bit more.
Hmm.
The Tonight Show, and I saw a rehearsal video. She sounded pretty decent there too. So I think depending on the atmosphere or the environment, either nerves play a part or like the production's kind of filtering also plays a part. There's a lot of things to kind of think about, but overall, maybe like a B plus,
Mhm.
A minus situation
Yeah.
depending on the day.
Okay. Okay, so Jisoo Earthquake. So she is the only one who did the typical kind of Korean
Yeah,
music shows. So what do you think
yeah.
of the Earthquake performances and the choreo?
The background dancers eat this up for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. They hold back just enough while still
Do
hitting their
they?
lines. They hold back just enough. Just enough. I didn't say like, they're like holding back so much where it's like, oh God, they can't dance. But they're holding back enough where they don't look like they're just like destroying her. Because I know some dancers can go super ham and they're not going ham. They're just making sure they're finishing their lines. Like even when they do the body roll, some of them don't
Yeah.
crash their bodies. There are points where they pop and they all kind of melt at the same time. Jisoo doesn't hit moves like that, so it's
Mm-hmm.
very stark contrast when everyone's kind of popping and then melting because they're
Yeah.
doing they're using they're jacking their bodies properly and they're just kind of just contracting properly before melting. She doesn't really contract because she's singing, I guess, but maybe she just doesn't have that technique, instilled in her dancing training. Mm. I think we can all say that Jisoo has not been the strongest dancer in Blackpink since her trainee days. She has
Mm-hmm.
been the visual. It doesn't mean it's an excuse as to why she can't dance, but she has
Mm-hmm.
not been the strongest dancer. She's almost like the Michelle Williams in a sense where people are like, yes, she's part of the group, yes, she's dancing, but you're not looking at her to be like, oh my God, she's about to kill her freestyle right now. No, Jisoo's not doing that. And I
Mm-hmm.
love Michelle. No tea, no shade. But you can tell who has a little bit of funk and who doesn't. And Jisoo never had funk in her dancing.
That's right.
And unfortunately, she is doing the bare minimum in terms of movement and in terms of texture, I would say specifically. And she is singing live, so I can't imagine her popping while singing certain notes. I think what annoys me the most about the overall production of her performances is that the costuming is not great and it doesn't allow for her to keep her balance. She's already someone who doesn't really have that strong core when she dances. And you can tell like when she turns around and there's a spin at the end of the bridge that she has to hit. And I've seen her stumble out of it every single time if she's not wearing sneakers or a flat shoe.
Yeah.
Like on SBS Inkigayo, she's wearing a platform penny loafer and then she spins and she kind of has to use her foot, like she toe heels herself back into position. And I'm like, she shouldn't have to do that. Why is she wearing the shoe
Mm-hmm.
with a heel, a
Yeah.
block heel at that, and it's taped to her foot? That's not giving her an opportunity to actually be like, okay, she may not be a good dancer, but at least she's not weeble wobbling. She was weeble wobbling. I will say that some of the moments that she does have is just okay. At least she's interesting enough to watch. Like there's some visuals that have gone solo in K-pop groups, and I'm like, girl, girl, go back to that group real quick. She's a visual that does not just have dead eyes, which I appreciate. Like you can tell, right? You can see her
Yeah.
kind of smiling and scrunching her face in the right way. Sometimes it's just her, maybe just nerves. I don't know. But I don't think she has the intensity that the song calls for at times. But she works well with what she's got. You know?
Sure.
She's not like fierce, raw. She's like cute, kind of puppy. So when she kind of,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it
Look,
works.
I think it's hard. Like, we're both dancers.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be more critical with that
Ugh,
aspect of things.
ugh.
And yeah, look, she's not the most natural dancer,
Yeah.
but I think it's on the choreographer to actually cater to your artists. And especially
Mm,
as a solo artist,
yeah.
it's not like you're in a group where you can kind of hide behind the
Yeah.
others, or at least you can kind of strategically do formations so that, the strongest people are at the front. Like,
That's valid.
she's the solo artist here. So all eyes on her. Give her
Yes.
moves that she can execute well. And I think there are some moves here that she can execute well,
Yes.
but then there are other ones where I have textures written as well. You can tell,
Yeah.
and it sucks
Mm,
because
mm.
like I almost think the dancers maybe should have pulled back another
A little bit
10%.
more. Mm,
Because you can tell they're like keeping their chords tight. There's
yeah.
like you can tell there's initiation to it. JISOO doesn't do any of that.
Yeah.
Everything kind of just goes kind of move to
Mm,
move to move with no
yeah.
real kind of thought of tension.
Oh
Um,
no. Oh
and
yeah.
so, but it's just easy to see that, like, because the
Yes.
dancers are so close to her almost throughout the
Yes.
whole time.
Yeah.
But the actual choreography, I think, is fine. Like, it's very feminine, it's very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
There are some nice pictures with the dancers kind of circling around her or behind her.
Yeah.
Um, I'm guessing the snaps are the point dance.
Oh yeah. The
Okay, so the end with a circle. I mean, okay,
yeah.
that's memorable. Sure, I guess that's effective.
Yeah.
Uh, Again, it's an improvement over Flower because I hated the way she performed that one.
That's not her fault. That's,
Uh,
oh God, her choreographed that. Smack him.
but I think it's especially tough because she's with,
Yeah.
and I'm going to specifically call it Lisa and Jennie, where they are just more captivating as performers just
Hmm.
naturally, and
Yeah.
so it's hard for her to stand out in this category.
Yeah, that's the honest truth.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and vocally, it's fine, but no offense, the song is not that hard to sing.
Oh,
Like nothing happens in the song that I'm like, ooh, you know what I mean?
oh, yeah, she's pushing it. Yeah. Ooh,
Where I'm just
valid.
like, okay, yeah, like
Not
I'm glad
wowed.
you're saying it live, but sure, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Like she's staying alive. Yes, we know that.
Oh yes,
She's
yeah, yeah, I get
we
it, I
know
get
she
it.
is. YG artists usually do.
Okay, let's move on to Lisa.
Yeah,
F
speaking
up
of
the
YG
world.
artists
Yes.
actually
Okay.
singing
So we
live,
do
yeah.
kind of get a few different versions because we have the
Hmm.
version, like the YouTube one that was all girl crew, and
Yes.
then on Coachella it's with all boys.
Yeah.
So just a slightly different, and a band
Yeah.
and a slightly different energy there.
Yeah.
So yeah, what did you think? You don't
I
sound impressed.
I prefer the girls. Again, for me,
Okay.
the whole song is about F of the world. It was giving, I hate that word girl boss. I do hate it, but it's giving like girl gang kind of feel. So to have guys there, I'm like, yeah, I guess, whatever.
Mm.
I just think there's something so wonderful about seeing women punch and throw and hit moves that guys do hit as well, but then throw a little twerk in there. I think that's great. And I think it kind of helps with the juxtaposition of the song where it's like you're owning that sensuality, but also like showing some ferocity at the same time. So I do prefer the girls dancing, but in terms of the full set of the Coachella performance, I understand it kind of creates this dynamic where she's sitting there kicking their butts and
Yeah, she's like
acting
the
like,
queen. Yeah.
yeah, okay, I get it. Sorry. Oh, he dying. But yeah, so she's got the look and the moves for a good performer. She's a natural performer. I do not dislike men. I just for me for the song, I'm like, yeah, girls, we're effing up the world. Not like, here are my minions, like so I just feel like for
Mm.
that would create the picture for me. During the Coachella set,
Hmm.
her mic was definitely lower than the backing track. Not
Yes.
definitely, but it was lower.
Yep.
And she sounded okay. I mean, she didn't have to sing that much. The tone on the track, like the actual recording, cannot be duplicated for sure. But for what she did on stage, she did well enough. I will say she did seem more out of breath than I expected. Granted, the wind was going, so I can only imagine as you're
Yeah.
trying to push out, it's pushing you in.
Yeah. Coachella, I feel like no one ever sounds their best at Coachella.
I was gonna say a name, but it's not fair to compare. Um, because she's literally who she is. Like, like there's never gonna be another her. If you know what I'm talking about, drop it in the chat, the comment below.
Gaga
Um,
sounded great as well, but
okay, both of those women.
yeah,
we're
both of
gonna
those.
just,
But yeah,
we're gonna just, yeah, we're not gonna go there.
different caliber.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, valid. Okay, so as I was saying though, she did sound a lot out of breath, and I think for some of the rapping parts, She avoided those, and it kind of
Yeah.
bothered me a bit because
Mm.
she's not a Doja and she's not a Megan. I get that. And those are not the two artists that we were talking about. But Doja and Megan, once again, are two rappers that Doja will rap really fast on a track. And you can hear she'll sit there, especially with Get Into It. There's that one part of her, the second verse where she'll go off. Megan will dance and rap, but still keep the
Yeah.
energy going. So she did cover the breath loss really well with choreo and facials, or like a moment where she kind of just pausing. But I cannot lie when I was like, dang girl, the song just started. Shoot. That's why I'm a little disappointed because I know that if she were in a group, obviously she would have more opportunities to kind of save her breath. But because she's performing solo and dancing and performing just performing, even just standing there requires energy to shoulders back. Everything is perfect except this whole punching in with the vocals part. I mean, she did a good job. The choices that were made in terms of coming back in so you can hear her voice were good. And then the second verse with the band version, she can kind of just dance and like lip sync the F of the world part. But yeah, in terms of like actually executing a clean, I'm just rapping, holding a mic to my mouth, I would have loved to see her do that at least one time for like even a Vivo performance. You know what I'm saying? Just to show that, hey, I can do this. I may have not written it. This may not be like who I am. I may not be like a rapper per se, but I can perform the track that was given to me without having to dance to prove that I am a good artist, good performer. And I just wish we would have had at least one of those.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not a rapper, so I think I guess I'm more lenient, I think,
Okay.
on rap.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's more, I think first off, rap is really hard to do live,
It
especially because
is.
you mentioned the punching in, punching out. There's no
Yeah.
room to breathe. So it makes
No.
sense that she kind of needed to choose her moments, I
Yeah.
guess. In terms of the whole backing track being louder than the mic, that's actually, I feel like that's quite common among rappers right now. Like, just I
Yeah, it
watched
is
a bunch
normal.
of Coachella, like all of them have a backing track and they're all kind of shouting over it. Like that's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kind of like
It's no norm.
how things are right now with rappers. And so I wasn't really bothered by that from her. So like vocally, I just wasn't expecting much, I guess,
Oh, it's valid.
from this one in particular.
Okay,
I mean,
it's
I
valid.
know there were all those comments about the ballad that she
Mhm.
sang live, in that set, but we're not
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about that song today.
Right.
But for this song, I really, it's more about the energy and everything.
Yes, yes, yes.
I agree with you. I think the girls as a unit a
Mhm.
bit more powerful and it kind of makes a bit more of a statement than the boys. However,
Yeah.
a lot of her male dancers are Janet Jackson's dancers,
Yeah.
including Denzel, who I love. And
Yes.
so
So
I
good though.
appreciated,
Talented.
yes, I
Talented.
appreciated that version as well. Just need to shout that out.
Yes.
But yeah, look, she's a great performer. This
Mhm.
song is a hype song. It was near the beginning of her set. Right? It was like the second or third song in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And it's a good, just kind of starter. It's a
Mhm.
good energy moment just to
Mhm.
kind of get people hype for her. And
Yeah.
I think the song works for that. The performance works for that. I think there are some really cool moments in the choreo that look super fun. It's kind of a good
Yeah.
balance between kind of the more feminine, kind of like body rolls and hip
Oh,
hits and
yes.
stuff. And then there's
Mhm.
kind of the hard hitting stuff. So I like the balance of that. It looks super fun to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it works. I think it works for the song.
Yes, it did what it had to do.
Yeah.
Again, I wish we would have gotten like one because he did Rapunzel
Yeah.
recently where she's just rapping.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I'm like, dang, if we would have just got
That's fair.
one, it would have been like, ooh, you chose them, girl.
Yeah.
But yeah, no hate
Not
for
too
her.
late. Not
Yeah,
too late.
never too late. I still
Yeah.
like her very much.
Mhm. Okay, our final player, Jennie.
Yes.
Like Jennie.
Who?
Yes. So we do have to share,
Yes.
might be a bit biased about this one because we actually participated in a cover
Yes.
of Like Jennie, which was done by I Love Dance, which is like the biggest K-pop dance studio in New York
Yes.
and New Jersey.
Yes. Apparently we have a Jersey
Um,
section. Yes.
So we'll have that link in our show notes. So if you
Yes.
want to watch Chantel and I dance,
Right.
you should check it out. And you'll know
You
that we
should.
actually know what we're talking about too.
Oop, hello. Hello. Talk
Yeah.
about it. Because I tell you, my section was so hard.
This
Your
is tough
section was-
choreo.
Yeah, no, your section was hard too, actually. The footwork was bananas.
I also had to have two people on my
top of you.
thighs.
Yeah. Did you have bruises?
No, but I was shaking by the last take for sure.
Right, 'cause you're shaking. Okay,
I
good.
was like, please just start the music.
That is amazing. But yes, it's a testament to how many takes they may have had. You guys know with music videos, like they shoot all
Oh yeah.
day. So I can only imagine those guys' thighs at the end of the day. I'm glad you didn't bruise. That means your iron's very high. Good for you, healthy boy. But anyway, jokes aside, guys, this choreography is difficult, and I'm gonna try not to be super biased. But it's hard because once you're a part of it, you're like, damn, this is crazy. Not saying that if we weren't a part of Earthquake and F Up the World, we wouldn't be as impressed or like as tired. In fact, I think you and I probably would have danced too hard in Earthquake. I don't know, based off based off our notes. Yeah. Snap it, snap it, snap it. But with this one, I think it was really interesting to watch because again, Jennie has this whole I'm lazy thing, which she's not lazy. Okay. She's not lazy. She performs in a music video, but this is like one of the very choreography heavy that we've seen her do. And it's very it's groove heavy, right?
Yes.
That's my thing. Grooves are not easy to catch. And she does a lot of rolling with her hand and swinging. And there's just yeah, if you guys have seen We Them Boys choreography, they combine trendy steps along with like interesting grooves and stuff like that. So I've always appreciated the modernity of what they do.
Yeah.
And I would say they study other genres pretty well. I think Vata did it mostly. But yeah, they study genres pretty well. Like they have Afro beats choreography, even though it's a Brazilian inspired song. But yeah, people are identifying it and going, oh, I know what that move is. I've seen it before. Like the musicality of this choreography is, I think, shoosh, it's really good. It's really good. And as I mentioned before, the music video has its own choreography. The regular performance has its own choreography. And then when she hits the stage, there's some finger pointing for the like Jennie, 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 Jennie part. And I'm like, oh my God, that's 3 sets of choreography that someone has to learn and memorize. I think in terms of the performance, um, she's been doing pretty okay, but I think this is a personality performance.
Yeah.
I think in terms of being able to maintain her breath, I would say she'd almost did a little bit better than Jennie. Not Jennie, than Lisa, not by much, not by much, because she's kind of the kind of person when she kind of projects. She's kind of the person that when she projects her, she loses breath already. I don't know what that is, but it might be because she's not supporting sometimes when she's yelling. Um, because it's not hard to sing, but again, sometimes these girls suffer from out of breathness. It happens, I get it, but I think it's just because they're not supporting themselves when they're yelling. She does a pretty decent job of maintaining her personality, but I can see her getting a little fatigued as the this dancing and the performance does go on. It doesn't take away from the fact that she's doing a good job in terms of looking cool, she's having a good time. I love that she's having a good time. But in terms of like whoo, you can see the windedness. I think Lisa tops her in that sense of not looking like she's tired. Jennie will kind of hit this whole like she'll rub her hair out of her face and kind of just stay all crazy. It's then just stand there and kind of breathe and then hit
Yeah.
another step and like that's her tell. She does something with her body every single time you can tell she's tired. And Lisa doesn't do that. And it's hard for me to pinpoint every 5 seconds or like every second that she does it. But I've noticed it and I'm like, Jennie, stop letting people know you're tired, girl. Stop letting people know you're tired, girl. But I think she's
Yeah.
having a good time. Everyone seems to be like really performing the crap out of it as well. So I think overall the picture of everything looks really good.
Yeah.
Always, like consistently really freaking good. From video to live performance, it looks good. The picture of everyone
Yes.
together looks amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting about her as a performer. I think one thing for me, and again, it's hard not to directly compare her and Lisa because
Yeah.
the vibe of this is just so similar.
Yes.
But I think Jennie's kind of character of this kind of like super hard, like super confident person, it doesn't feel as powerful as
Yeah.
Lisa's.
Yes.
Like it feels like it kind of just feels like she's putting it on a little bit. It
Yes.
doesn't feel, I
It's
don't
the
know.
difference between Blossom and Buttercup. Both are very
Oh.
strong, but Blossom's more like the posh beau, and Buttercup's like, I will F up the world. I will F you up as well.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
more
yeah.
believable. Like, yes, can Blossom also kick your butt? But she's wearing a bow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you believe. I get it.
Like
There's
yeah,
something.
I think just like personality wise, she's better at doing some of the softer
Yes.
songs. I think it's just
Yeah.
more interesting. Yeah,
She's
it's
more
just more. It
femme.
just feels
She's
more authentic for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But regardless, actually talking about the choreography, it's so good. Like the way, and again, we learned it, so we're a little more. I know how it feels in my body, so I can speak a
Mm-hmm.
little bit more to it. But yeah, you
Right.
mentioned the groove. It was great because everyone can kind of sit into things kind of a little differently and how it
Mm-hmm.
fits their body.
Yeah.
And as long as your angles and stuff are together, it kind of all
Yes.
works. And
Yes.
that's great because I feel like a lot of K-pop or a lot of just like commercial pop choreography, it tends
Mm-hmm.
to you need to be very exact with everything. And this one doesn't
Mm-hmm.
need that. This one's more about the feeling and the whole vibe of it. So I think that's what makes
Yeah.
this so awesome. And I love just the sequencing of it. I love that all boys at first and all girls and they all come together and it's just the whole build of the performance and choreography itself.
Yeah.
When you're finally in that last kind of giant formation doing that kind of like army
Oh yeah, the
arm
army
swipe
chopping
thing.
thing.
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
so powerful. So it's just
Uh-huh.
really, really well choreographed.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I think again with her execution, she's a lot cleaner in the music video than she is live.
Yeah.
Uh, and again, that has to do with a lot of different factors for sure. I think a
Mm-hmm.
live band version is cool. It gives the second verse kind of even more energy. A bit more
Yeah.
of a yeah, it's pretty cool. It has some interesting moments to it.
Right.
Yeah, she's definitely has a natural charisma to her
Yes.
as well. Like she and Lisa, I think both have very natural charisma. But because I can kind of do this direct comparison with these two songs in particular, Lisa does win out for me as a performer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, goodness, goodness. Tough
yeah.
one, tough one, tough one.
Hmm.
All right, so who's the overall winner for the choreography performance round for you?
Ugh, it's so hard because I think again I'm biased because I know the like Jenny choreo, so part of me is just like I have to give it to that. But in terms of just watching a performance and who I'd want to watch again, I do give it to Lisa.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's valid. I think I match you in that sentiment because I do like the choreography a little bit more with like Jenny. Because don't get me, F of the World is great, but
yeah,
I think from the beginning of like then Jenny, before we even learned the choreography, we all could pick out something that we liked from the verses on.
hmm,
You know what I'm saying? The chorus just made it even more like, woo, more impactful, but we all know certain parts of that dance,
yeah.
you know? So I think I'm going to give it to Jenny in terms of choreography, but performance is definitely Lisa split.
Okay,
Yeah. Ooh.
nice. Okay, so overall thoughts. So Blackpink's about to come back together.
Yeah.
But
Ooh.
now, but it'll be really interesting because, like, I don't know, they've all kind of gotten to split up and kind of do their own thing with their own
Yeah.
teams, with their own labels.
Exactly. It should be
Uh,
interesting.
So yeah, what are your
Hopefully,
thoughts on these solo moments and the group playing back together?
I would say that everyone kind of plays to their strengths, which I appreciate. I just not even we didn't get a chance to actually talk about all their albums, really, because people might say, if you just listen to this song on this album, it proves that they're really good at this, that, and the third. But like we're talking about these songs. These songs have to be like their thesis. If these songs were describing who they were as artists, I guess it makes sense. Like Rosé is the singer-songwriter with the guitar and the diary-esque lyrics. Like if you
Hmm.
date me and we break up, it's copy at this point. Everything's copy. Um
Yeah.
Jisoo is the one that plays it safe, but stays true to herself and is, going to sing about love and how she feels, but she won't talk about how confident she is as a person. You have Lisa saying, I'm great, I'm amazing, but give it to you in a way that's very tomboy, very, very, I'm rich.
Hmm.
I'm a superstar. And you have Jenny who is saying, I'm like this, you want to be like me. Where that's what I'm saying. So Lisa is not like you want to be like me. She's more like, I am this and you love it. Jenny's like, you want to be like me, no matter
Yeah.
what. So I think in terms of what they were all saying, they all did a pretty good job. But overall winner, I think in terms of like how they packaged everything and how everything came together, that's where the tough part comes.
Yeah.
Because I gave different people
Yeah.
different, you know what I'm saying? So it's a little harder for me. Um, I had to really choose in terms of song, choreography, and music video. If I had to give it all to someone, oh goodness, how tough. I guess I would give it to I guess I would give it to Jenny. I have to be real here. I think
Yeah.
overall, if I were to kind of factor in even her artistic vision for the project, hers makes the most sense as well. Um, oh, it's so hard. I want to
I
say
mean, I think I
Lisa.
agree with you
Yeah.
actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
like even though Lisa won 2 the categories for me, I think as an overall vision,
Yeah.
and kind of everything, because I will take into account some of the other stuff that I mean, it's hard with Jisoo because she only kind of did the EP, but the other
Yeah.
three had a more fully formed kind of overall project. And yes,
Mm-hmm.
these were like the statement songs,
Yeah.
that came out of it.
Yeah.
But I think Jennie, just as a whole, as an artist, feels the most kind of fully formed, I
Formed.
would say, and the most kind of
Yeah.
just individual.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like she kind of really knows what she wants, as opposed to I think the other three, it feels a little more like they're still just trying to figure it out a little
Their
bit
footing.
more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I think, there's no extreme dud here, right? Like
No.
I think,
No.
sometimes, with these group debuts, sometimes it's just like, oh Lord, like they should never try again. Like I wouldn't say
Yes.
that with any of these. Like there's a lot of potential, I would say, with all four of them.
Absolutely. Yes.
And this is just their first, real individual project, not counting kind of the random YG singles that some of them had,
Right.
or that they all
Right.
had. But yeah, so I think as a start, I think it's great. I think it'll be interesting to see them come back together as a group. I think it's weird timing to come back together as a group when they're just
Yes.
finding their footing as solo artists. I was
Yes.
someone tell me this is likely just a contractually obligated thing with YG.
Yeah. I think so too.
Let us know if you want us to review the new songs. I believe there's supposed to at least be a new single, if not a project from the group
Ooh.
as well, which I'm curious how they're gonna try to
Yeah.
elevate their sound a little bit.
Because at this point, Baby Monster done took it and reheated their nachos.
Yeah.
So like,
And I again, someone correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't actually looked, but someone told me that their stadium tour actually isn't selling that well.
get out of here.
Like the demand actually isn't that high for them to come back. They haven't been gone long enough that they're missed.
Really? Because I feel like that happened with Beyonce too, but then suddenly you look at the cameras, it's like all filled out. So maybe it will get a little bit better. I think that
Yeah.
initial like
I
oh
mean,
my
I think
God,
once they actually
buying-
come back with new music, then it's
Yes.
like people will be on it. And
Yeah.
for sure.
No, you're so right. That makes sense. Like the demand, like, oh
Yeah.
my God, like the panic rush buying probably did happen, but there might be some tickets still wandering about, y'all. So definitely go check
Yeah,
and get
yeah.
your tickets.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
funny. But it's true, yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. When do they come in July?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you got 2 months, y'all. Make your decisions. Ooh.
But I'm very curious what they're gonna do because I hope it doesn't feel too lazy. Like, I hope it's not
Mhm.
just like, yeah, this sounds like something that our fans would like.
Um,
But I hope it feels like, because sometimes when groups come back together after time solo, then it's like, feels like they've all leveled up. You meant, Destiny's Child, like when they came back for Destiny Fulfilled, like it felt like they literally
Right.
leveled up, like all three of them.
This is
I
true,
want
but
that to happen, but I feel like they haven't done enough solo to make that happen yet. So
I don't think it's going to,
yeah.
honestly. Because only because I know how you and I both know how K-pop is. Like they're not gonna let these
Yeah,
girls
yeah.
suddenly be like, here's an actual song that we all kind of have contributions into.
Mhm.
It's gonna be someone's gonna write the song, someone's gonna produce the song, y'all just sing it and look pretty. Shut up. That's how K-pop is. Like I don't think they deserve it, but that's how it is. It sucks.
Yeah, and I hope all four of them actually want to be back
Oof.
together as a group, and it doesn't, because sometimes
Honey.
we've seen these contractually obligated things before, and you can tell they're all phoning it in. So I just hope that
Honey.
that's not the case. Yeah.
Hell yeah. But yes, Blinks, let us know what you guys think of all of this. Let us know how you feel about the girls coming back and what you're expecting for their their group release. And let us know what wins this Blackpink solo pop off for you. Do not forget we're available on all platforms and make sure to comment and DM us at CCTV Pops on all of them socials, y'all. And make sure you hit the follow and subscribe buttons because we have some really fun episodes coming up. And do not forget, if you are a Patreon member, you get to help us choose episode topics and even submit some comments that we will read off on air. That's right, you get to be part of the show. So until next time, that's Chris.
That's Chantel.
And we're signing off from CCTV, the Nonstop Pop Show.
You want